The world's richest are laughing at the Philippines, and here's why. A lot of people link this over to me saying that it's a really fascinating video to look at, especially knowing that you love the Philippines vision and you have been there. I have. If you didn't know, there's a lot of videos that I actually recorded of me being there. Here's actually a few of them. And with all this love and fascination I have about the Philippines, there's a lot to be said and there's a lot to know. And I honestly am going to go back to the Philippines again and just witness even more islands, things like that. And all thanks to you guys. You guys have really opened my eyes to how beautiful the Philippines is. And honestly, I've been so in love with it that when you guys linked this over, I really got curious. I mean, the world's richest are laughing at the Philippines. Why? Let's check this out together, please. Let's go.
Ever notice how the richest people on the planet always have something to say? Like
true.
They've cracked the code to existence and now they're here to bestow their wisdom upon the rest of us? Well, when it comes to the Philippines, they're not just talking. They're watching, investing, and some of them, they're even jealous. Yeah, you heard that right. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jealous. Of the Philippines? Bear with me for just a moment. The Philippines isn't just some postcard perfect tropical getaway where retirees go to stretch their pensions and digital nomads show off their tan lines. No, it's something much, much bigger. It's an economic powerhouse in the making, and some of the wealthiest, most powerful people on earth are paying very, very close attention. Let's start with the obvious. The Philippines isn't small. Sure, it might look like just a bunch of islands scattered across the Pacific, but zoom out and you'll see something else. A country of over 110 million people, a growing middle class, and an economy that refuses to slow down. In the last few decades, the Philippines went from being dismissed as a developing nation to one of the fastest growing economies in Asia. And the rich? Oh, they love a country that knows how to make money. Bill Gates, Mr. Microsoft himself, once said that the Philippines is a country of immense potential thanks to its young, dynamic workforce. Translation? Filipinos are out here making things happen while other countries deal with an aging population that's getting a little too comfortable with afternoon naps.
And you can notice that if you ever go there.
Median age, just 25. That means a workforce that's young, ambitious, and full of energy.
A lot of them are ambitious
No wonder
too.
Billionaires are intrigued. And it's not just Gates. Warren Buffett, the investment guru, has praised Southeast Asia as one of the best places for future economic growth. And guess what? The Philippines is smack dab in the middle of it all. A strategic location, a workforce that speaks English like it's their first language, and a government that's finally figuring out how to keep foreign investors happy. Then there's Elon Musk.
Oh, I've heard about this
actually. The
actually.
guy is busy trying to colonize Mars, but even he's got his sights on the Philippines.
I've heard a lot about him in the
company,
Philippines.
Starlink, has already set up shop, bringing high-speed internet to remote areas. And if Musk is interested in something, you can bet it's not because he's feeling charitable. He sees opportunity, the kind of opportunity that makes rich people even richer. And let's talk about Jeff Bezos. The man who turned Amazon into a global empire knows one thing: logistics. And the Philippines? It's got logistics potential written all over it. Major ports, access to international trade routes, and a workforce that's already running some of the biggest outsourcing operations in the world.
Yeah.
It's no coincidence that multinational corporations are setting up call centers and business operations here like it's a corporate gold rush. So what's driving all this interest? Simple. The Philippines knows how to hustle.
That's absolute
The service
facts.
sector, booming. Manufacturing, expanding. Tourism, still one of the best kept secrets in Asia. And then there's the business process outsourcing BPO industry.
And I'm glad I got to witness it.
The Philippines isn't just competing, it's dominating. You ever call customer service and hear a friendly, efficient voice on the other end?
Philippines.
There's a good chance that voice is sitting in Manila, Cebu, or Davao,
Yes.
working in one of the country's massive outsourcing hubs. But it's not just...
I actually had a full conversation with one because I was actually calling about one of my phones, and I think one of them noticed it was my voice. Like, oh, you kind of sound like a YouTuber Vision. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was about to ask you if you're from the Philippines because of your accent. And I tried like a Tagalog sentence with them. And then they started laughing and they were like, oh man, love your videos. And that was like one of the most beautiful moments, even though it was so small just on the phone. But it kind of shows you like, man, like they're everywhere in such a beautiful way, because it's like, we need more, right? We need more Filipinos, bro. We need the kindness. We need the very, very energetic or hustle mindset. And I feel like it's a really beautiful thing to see, because especially when I went to the Philippines with my friends, for example, my friend Zach, you can see also in my vlog on my channel, like, he was there just absolutely fascinated, man. He's like, man, the character of the whole city, right? The character of the people, of everybody surrounding you, walking past, like, it all feels like a purpose, and it all feels like community, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing, man.
Just business. The rich love a place that offers a little luxury, and the Philippines is starting to cater to them in ways that would make even the most seasoned billionaires raise an eyebrow. 5-star resorts, high-end real estate, private islands for sale.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, the Philippines isn't playing around anymore. The ultra-wealthy are realizing they can get a beachfront mansion here for what they'd pay for a parking spot in New York City. And while we're at it, let's talk about something else. The rich
Parking
love.
spot in New York City, bro.
Influence. The Philippines sits in a sweet spot geopolitically, right between major Asian economies. China, Japan, South Korea, they all have interests here. And the United States? It's had a long history with the country, from military bases to economic partnerships. The Philippines isn't just rising, it's becoming indispensable. So why aren't more people talking about this? Because when people think of powerful countries, they think of places with towering skylines and trillion-dollar corporations. They don't think about a place where you can get a world-class meal for the price of a cup of coffee back in the West. They don't think about a country that's been quietly building, expanding, and preparing for its moment on the world stage. But billionaires, they see it. They always see it before the rest of us. Now, is the Philippines perfect? Of course not. No country is.
Exactly. No
There
places.
are challenges, poverty, traffic that can make grown men cry, and a political landscape that's, let's just say, colorful. But the trajectory, the momentum, it's inevitable. And if you think this is just hype, take a look at where the smart money is going. Real estate prices are climbing. Tech companies are setting up shop. Even Hollywood celebrities are starting to buy property here. They know something's happening. They know the Philippines is more than just a beautiful place to vacation.
Yeah, dude.
So what does this mean for you? Well, if you're living in the Philippines, you're sitting in one of the most promising economies in the world. If you're an investor,
Best malls
you
ever,
might
too.
want to start paying attention before it's too late. And if you're watching this from somewhere else, wondering if the Philippines is really worth all the hype, let's just say the billionaires aren't betting against it. Now go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. Drop a comment, share your thoughts. And if you still don't believe the Philippines is on the rise, give it 5 years. You'll see. Jeff Bezos knows a thing or two about business. He built an empire out of selling books and ended up controlling half the world's online shopping habits. The guy could have retired and bought his own private island years ago, but no, he's still out here watching, investing, expanding.
Fly in my face.
And one of the places he's got his eye on? The Philippines. Bezos has said the entrepreneurial spirit in the Philippines is undeniable. That's not corporate fluff. That's a billionaire recognizing that this country isn't just about cheap labor and call centers. It's about raw, untapped potential. Filipino entrepreneurs aren't just keeping up with global trends, they're creating them. Tech startups, booming, e-commerce, exploding, blockchain, fintech, AI. There's a new generation of Filipino business minds who aren't just looking to compete. They're looking to redefine entire industries.
You guys are telling me to move.
The Philippines isn't waiting around for foreign investment anymore.
I might move to the Philippines.
It's building its own future.
I've already been planning on it.
And people like Bezos are smart enough to see where this is going. He's not the only one. Mark Zuckerberg, the social media overlord himself, has talked about how Filipino workers are the backbone of many successful tech companies around the world. Think about that. The so-called third world country that outsiders love to underestimate is actually running the engines of the digital age. Filipino developers, designers, customer support reps, these people are making sure your apps work, your online transactions go through, and your social media stays addictive. And it's not just about tech. There's something deeper at play here. Filipinos have a way of turning adversity into opportunity.
Yeah.
The country has seen economic crises, political upheavals, natural disasters that would break most nations. But what happens? They rebuild. They work harder. They laugh in the face of hardship and just keep going. That's what Bezos, Zuckerberg, and every other billionaire paying attention sees.
Yeah.
A country that refuses to stay down. A place where the people don't just survive, they adapt.
And then thrive.
It's the same mindset that built Silicon Valley, that turned small businesses into multinational empires. And it's happening in the Philippines right now. Look at how Filipinos have taken over the outsourcing industry. It started as a way for foreign companies to cut costs, but Filipinos turned it into something else entirely.
Yeah.
They didn't just take the jobs, they mastered them, optimized them, and created an entire sector that's now one of the biggest in the world. Customer service, the Philippines runs it. Healthcare, process outsourcing, the Philippines has it locked down. Creative services, a whole industry of talented writers, video editors, graphic designers, and animators are pumping out high-quality content for clients around the world. And that's just the workforce inside the country. Step outside, and you've got millions of Filipinos working overseas, sending billions back home. These aren't just people sending money to family members. They're funding businesses, paying for education, fueling an entire economy. Some countries rely on oil or tech. Filipinos have built an economic engine out of sheer hard work and sacrifice. Oprah Winfrey has been to the Philippines. She's talked about how the people here are some of the strongest, warmest, most resilient she's ever seen. And she's right. The country gets hit with devastating typhoons year after year. And yet the moment the storm passes, people are already rebuilding, helping their neighbors, figuring out how to move forward.
Yeah.
That kind of resilience isn't something you can teach. It's built into the culture.
It's experience.
And if you think that's just sentimental fluff, think again. Resilience translates directly into business, into economic growth, into the kind of determination that turns a struggling nation into a global powerhouse. That's why billionaires are watching. That's why they're investing. You ever wonder why some countries succeed and others don't? It's not just about resources. It's about mindset. The Philippines doesn't have massive oil reserves. It doesn't have a tech monopoly, but it has something that's arguably even more valuable. People who refuse to quit.
Exactly.
And that's why billionaires keep circling. They know what's coming. They see the Philippines as more than just a cheap labor destination. They see it as a future economic juggernaut. And by the time everyone else figures it out, they'll have already made their moves. Look at the real estate market. Prices are going up. Luxury developments are popping up everywhere. And foreign investors are scrambling to get in before it's too late. And why wouldn't they? Where else can you get world-class beaches, booming business districts, and a cost of living that lets you live like a king? And let's talk about infrastructure. It's not perfect, but things are changing fast. New airports, expressways, massive urban developments. This isn't the Philippines of 20 years ago. The government knows what's at stake, and they're putting in the work to make sure the country is ready for what's coming next.
Yeah.
If you're still thinking of the Philippines as some far-off place that doesn't matter, in the grand scheme of things, you're already behind. The world's richest people aren't making that mistake. They see the future, and it's got Manila, Cebu, and Davao written all over it. So if you're sitting there wondering if the Philippines is really worth all the hype, ask yourself this. When was the last time billionaires lined up to invest in something that didn't pay off? Filipino hospitality isn't just a cliche. It's a force. It's the thing that turns strangers into friends, tourists into residents, and businesses into lifelong partnerships.
Well said.
It's why people come to the Philippines for a vacation and end up staying for years.
It's
why expats trade in their high-rise New York apartments for a condo in Manila with a view of the skyline and a neighborhood that actually smiles at them when they walk down the street. There's something different here. It's not just about politeness or service with a forced corporate grin. It's genuine. Walk into a Filipino home and you're getting fed whether you're hungry or not. Try to leave and there's a good chance someone's packing you a meal for the road. Even in business, it's not just about the deal. It's about relationships, trust, respect. People don't just shake hands and walk away. They build connections. And that's why investors keep coming back. Branson, the man who turned a record store into a global empire, has talked about this. He said that when you build a team in the Philippines, you're not just investing in talent. You're investing in relationships. That's because business here isn't just numbers on a spreadsheet. It's personal. The same culture that welcomes people into their homes with open arms applies to the way they do business. And that's why companies that start here don't just survive, they thrive. The impact isn't just felt in the boardrooms, it's everywhere. The hospitality industry here is built on something real. You check into a 5-star hotel in the West, and you get robotic service with a manufactured smile. You check into a resort in the Philippines, and you get treated like family.
Yeah.
Not because they have to, but because that's just how things are done.
As soon as I arrived, I remember my first experience when I went into my hotel. I don't know if I think it was like apartments and stuff. You know, we were like all struggling. We had like a bunch of luggage, and it wasn't cleaned up yet. You know, instead of being told like, I don't know what to tell you, man. You got to wait another 5 hours before it's cleaned up. Figure out what you got to do with your suitcases. The security guard came, took it out of the car for all of our luggage, and I was like, oh no, I could. He was like, no sir, and he helped, took it all out, and he put it in the corner like in his office. He was like, no worries, camera, nothing will happen. We keep it here until you go, you know, eat breakfast, whatever, and you come back, and apartment is like cleaned up for you to go in. And honestly, like, maybe you don't think much of that, but the extent of how much suffering would have went into the trip on the first day with the biggest migraine, by the way, because in my vlog, if you haven't seen it, I had the biggest like headache because I just took a 17 to 20 hour flight straight, right? Barely any sleep. And, you know, I was like being polite. I was like, oh no, I can figure it out. And he was like, no, let me do it. Because he probably knew, right? And even if he didn't, the reality is he took the opportunity to be like, let me help you. I don't care, man. Let me help you out. And he saved us from what could have been a horrible day. Like, it could have been horrible, right? We had to go figure it out, where to put our luggage until then. Dude, 6 suitcases, like, and he did that. Saved us. And it continuously was like that. Even the people inside, every day, good morning, good afternoon, sir, good evening, sir. It just always felt like I'm around people. I'm not around robots. It was incredible.
It's why the tourism industry isn't just growing, it's exploding. It's not just the beaches, the islands, the unreal landscapes. It's the people.
Yeah.
That's what makes travelers come back again and again. You can find a beautiful beach anywhere, but where else are you going to find a place where the people treat you like you belong there? That same energy extends to the entertainment world. Filipinos don't just participate in the global entertainment industry, they dominate it. There's a reason some of the best singers in the world have roots here.
Exactly.
There's a reason every cruise ship, every high-end hotel, every major global talent competition always seems to have a Filipino finalist. It's because music, art, and performance aren't just hobbies here, they're part of the culture. Spielberg, the man who's built an entire career out of telling stories that move people, has talked about the way Filipinos bring something unique to the global entertainment scene. It's not just talent, it's authenticity. When Filipinos perform,
genuine.
They don't just hit the right notes or say the right lines. They feel it. And the audience feels it too. That ability to connect isn't limited to music or film. It's in business, in tech, in every field that requires creativity and passion.
Yeah.
The country has no shortage of entrepreneurs who are proving that the Philippines isn't just a place for outsourcing and customer service. It's a place for innovation. Henry Tsai, one of the most successful business minds the country has ever seen, understood this long before the rest of the world caught on. He built an empire on the idea that Filipinos don't just work hard, they think big. And now a new generation of entrepreneurs is taking that same mentality global. The startup scene here isn't just growing, it's thriving. From fintech to e-commerce to AI-driven solutions, Filipino entrepreneurs aren't just following trends, they're setting them. It's not about catching up to the rest of the world anymore, it's about leading. And that's why Elon Musk has taken notice. He's called the Philippines a country with all the ingredients for success in the 21st century: innovation, a strong entrepreneurial spirit, and a culture that values both creativity and hard work. When someone like Musk says something like that, it's not small talk, it's an observation, a prediction. Tech giants aren't looking at the Philippines as just another market anymore. They're seeing it as a hub, a place where new ideas get tested, refined, and turned into something that can compete on a global scale.
Absolutely, bro.
Infrastructure is improving. Internet speeds are climbing. The talent pool is getting bigger, smarter, and more ambitious. The Philippines isn't waiting for the future to happen. It's building it. And that's why the billionaires, the business moguls, the power players of the world aren't just talking about it, they're investing in it. So what happens next? That depends on who's paying attention. Some people will wait until it's too late, until the world has already acknowledged the Philippines as a major player. Others will see the writing on the wall now, recognize what's happening, and be part of the story before everyone else catches up. But if there's one thing that's certain, it's this. The Philippines isn't just rising, it's unstoppable, and the world is finally starting to realize it. The Philippines is sitting on a gold mine, and it's not buried underground. It's not oil, it's not diamonds, it's not some rare metal that billionaires fight over in boardrooms. It's something much more valuable. It's the people, it's the culture, it's the relentless ability to push forward no matter what life throws in the way.
Wow.
It's something that can't be manufactured, outsourced, or duplicated.
Yeah.
The world has spent
there.
too long underestimating the Philippines. People talk about the economic miracles of South Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, small nations that turn themselves into global powerhouses through sheer determination, innovation, and a refusal to settle for less. There's no reason the Philippines can't do the same. No reason it can't rise to that level or higher. But here's the thing. It's not just about foreign investment, GDP growth, or trade deals. It's not about what the outside world thinks. It starts with belief. Belief from within. A nation only rises when its people believe they deserve to rise, when they stop comparing themselves to others and start setting the standards themselves. The Philippines has everything it needs to become a world power. The only thing missing is for everyone to truly realize it. There are challenges, of course. No country is perfect. No economy is flawless.
Yeah.
There's poverty, there's corruption. There's an uphill battle that won't be easy. But if history has taught anything, it's that no great nation was ever built without struggle. It takes time. It takes resilience. It takes people willing to work for something bigger than themselves. The strength of the Philippines has always been in its sense of community. This isn't a place where people live isolated lives, disconnected from each other. This is a country where neighbors still help neighbors, where family isn't just blood, it's whoever stands by you when you need them most. That's something powerful. That's something no amount of money can buy. And that's the foundation that will take the Philippines to the top. Think about it. Every major economic success story in history has been built on a workforce that refuses to quit, an entrepreneurial class that refuses to take no for an answer, and a culture that refuses to lose sight of who they are. The Philippines has all of that in abundance. A young, educated workforce that speaks the language of global business. A booming tech industry that's just getting started.
They never forget who they are.
A tourism industry that's still wildly underestimated. And a spirit that can't be broken. And let's talk about faith for a second. Because for the Philippines, faith isn't just something people practice on Sundays. It's something that runs deep in their daily lives. That kind of unwavering belief isn't just about religion. It's about the way Filipinos see the world, the way they handle adversity, the way they push forward when others would give up. That's a force stronger than any economic model or political strategy.
Absolutely agree.
That's something no recession, no crisis, no global downturn can ever destroy. Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither was Seoul. Neither was Taipei. Great nations don't rise overnight. It takes time. It takes sacrifice. It takes an entire generation willing to do the work. But the rewards, they're worth it. A future where the Philippines isn't just some underestimated country in Southeast Asia, but a global economic force. A place where young Filipinos don't have to leave home to chase better opportunities because the best opportunities are right there, waiting for them. A country that the rest of the world doesn't just acknowledge, but respects. The millionaires, the billionaires, the power players of the world are already paying attention. They see what's happening. They see a country that's on the edge of something big. But the real question is, do Filipinos see it? Do they believe it? Because that's what will make the difference. That's what will turn potential into reality. And when it happens, when the Philippines finally steps into its full power, the world is going to have no choice but to stand up and take notice.
Take notice.
It won't be because some foreign investors decided to throw money at it. It won't be because some international organization gave its approval. It'll be because Filipinos decided it was time, because they chose to believe in themselves. So if you're watching this and you love the Philippines...
I do. All I can say is I absolutely love the Philippines, man, and it's for good reason. Especially when I went there, the love just grew exponentially more. It's an incredible place, incredible community, incredible people, incredible places. Everything is just so beautiful, and all it takes is perspective, and it's honestly such a beautiful place, man. I'm gonna have to go back, and who knows, maybe I'll live there. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Peace.